I'm Chris, you're watching FRAG-MENTAL. Thanks for joining me. What you see isn't always what you get, or should I say what you smell isn't always what you get. Let's talk about the mysterious new release from Nasomatto, Fantomas. Well, guess it's just me then. Stay tuned to FM. Fantomas is the latest release from Italian niche brand Nasomatto. Nose of the brand, Alessandro Guttieri, is known for his edgy and contemporary creations, and Fantomas certainly fits in well with the rest of the Nasomatto project. Where does the name of the fragrance come from? It probably comes from a fictional character called Fantomas, who first appeared in a series of books in 1911 and then went on to appear in a series of successful films in the 1960s. Fantomas was a villain, an elusive serial killer who was obsessively pursued by Inspector Juve, who interestingly seemed to be the only person who could see his tracks. Could be a clue about a certain molecule that may or may not be included in this scent. Let's talk about how it smells. It opens with quite a bracing intensity as you're hit with fruit, salt, musks and wood, and it's at the same time pleasant and comforting, yet also strangely abrasive, but in a curious way that makes you want to keep smelling it. And it teases you with an almost gourmand-like sweetness, but never quite goes that far. The fruit here is quite hard to pin down, but I would say the thing that it reminds me most of is lemon, but not like a freshly sliced, sharp, tart lemon. It's more like the lemon that you would get in a lemon meringue pie, but just not as sweet. And further adding to this dessert analogy, I get a cakey accord, almost like a fluffy vanilla-like smell. It's never front and center, just more like if you're walking along and you catch a whiff of something tasty baking off in the distance. Overall, really nice opening. I'd say after about an hour the opening fades and you're left with this intense dark woods accord that settles quite close to the skin, and it reminds me of when I was making a fragrance with Aaron Terence Hughes. He had this pre-mixed intense dark woods accord, and the dry down of Fantomas reminds me quite a lot of that. This dark, intense woody accord seems to be inherent in the DNA of a lot of Nasomatto fragrances actually. It reminds me most of Duro. It doesn't have the spicy, almost medicinal quality that Duro has, but in terms of the woods and the intensity of those woods in Duro, I feel like there's a similarity with Fantomas. Okay, I'd like to talk about Nasomatto's official Fantomas video. Let me show you.
It's me, Fantomas, a faceless smell that conquers your soul, a soul with no identity. You will never truly see me, you will always feel me. My presence remains even after I'm gone. Some may go mad, others will fall in love. From here on, an undeniable fragrance of sophisticated villainy will conquer the world. Ha 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 ha.
My presence remains even after I am gone. You will never truly see me, you will always feel me. Some may go mad, others will fall in love. Oh, God, can't walk straight after all that. And let's go back to the fictional character of the books. Elusive, can only be seen by some people, but not all. Sounds a lot like how we describe ISO-E Super. This could also fit in with the idea of ghosts, phantoms. Some people are susceptible to seeing them, some aren't. Of course, Nasomatto never lists notes. The only vague bit of information on the website is
the fragrance is an elusive hint towards the transgressive act that has been carried out with an ease of refined precision.
I mean, don't overload us with information, Nasomatto. My favourite aspect of the presentation is the box, which clearly seems to take its inspiration from the films of the 1960s and has a beautiful resemblance to the artwork of American graphic designer Saul Bass, who produced iconic images for the films of Hitchcock and Otto Preminger, consisting of off-kilter fonts and mysterious silhouettes. This riffing on the very 1960s Saul Bass style artwork is beautiful and is highly impressive when it's revealed in all its glory when the red translucent sleeve is removed. So the overall smell is fruity, creamy, a little bit salty with some powerful woods and musks. I would say that it's maybe not as much of a statement making fragrance as some of the other Nasomattos that I own. Having said that, I would say it's a little more accessible, dare I say it, mainstream, so I think a wider range of people may really enjoy this fragrance. It seems to dry down after about an hour to a skin scent for me, so I wouldn't say the performance is beastly at all, but then again, I don't think any of my Nasomatto fragrances are. I'd be really interested to wear this around people when I can, just to see what kind of comments I might get. If it does contain ISO-E Super, then maybe they'll be smelling it long after I am. As I mentioned, I get about an hour of initial projection and it does smell really good in that time. I really enjoy the fragrance at that point. And then it dries down to be a skin scent for me, so it's a very soft projection at that point, and then it'll last on my skin for about 5 hours, but I am having to go close into my skin to really still smell it at that point. Maybe other people around me will be smelling it, but personally, I would prefer to be smelling it myself. It's no good to me if other people around me are commenting, but I'm not enjoying the fragrance. If you can get a fragrance that will do both things, perfect. It's quite a versatile fragrance. I think you could wear this really any time other than in really high heat. I do think that the warm and fuzzy opening works particularly well in autumn. It is doing out here in the woods today. So it's not as much of a statement making fragrance as some of the other Nasomattos, so I think you could wear this easily as a day scent, office scent, signature scent, perhaps. You could wear it for other occasions. I think it would work really great, but because it is a little softer and maybe a little more mass appealing, I think you could easily get away with this as a daytime signature scent. It's currently 124 euros. I purchased it direct on Nasomatto's website, and if you do that, they will also throw in a free sample of your choice, and they actually threw in 2 samples for me, so thank you very much, Nasomatto. My favourite Nasomatto fragrance is still Pardon. I think it's a masterpiece. I really enjoy that. I'd probably say I enjoy Fantomas on the same level as Baraonda and Black Afgano, and I think maybe I like it just a little more than Duro, perhaps. I just think that if the performance was a little bit better, if it lasted a little bit longer, if I got a bit more projection, it could be right up there rubbing shoulders with Pardon. But as it is, really nice fragrance, but Pardon's still my favourite. So there's some information and my opinions on this lovely release from Nasomatto. I think if you're a fan of the brand, you'll also really enjoy this one, but as always, do sample first if you can. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you found it useful. Thank you very much for watching. Remember, keep tuning into FM and keep smelling good.